Hi, this is Rick Bice with Bice Fit Exercises on behalf of Edmonds Park and Recreation. Today we're going to go through a circuit training class. What we'll do is we'll alternate between strength training exercises for the muscles, bones, and connective tissues, and then cardiovascular exercise for the heart, lungs, and circulatory system. What we'll do, it's all timed, so what we'll do is we'll do a minute on an exercise. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll do another minute on the same exercise or something very similar, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. So I'll call all those out as they happen. What you'll need for this exercise program today is a chair over here, maybe some light to medium dumbbells, and some resistance tubing or band. Maybe light or medium, whatever you have on that. With or without handles, doesn't matter on that. We will begin with a warm-up. We will go through the exercises, then we'll finish off with a cool down and then some stretches at the end. This is all at your own pace, so we strive for a minute's worth of work. If you need to take your breaks, quicker than that, or if by the end of the minute you're not tired or fatigued, you could just go straight through that break that we have. So it's all up to you, the kind of resistance you use, whatever works for your body. Make sure your surrounding area is clear, that you've got room to move around, arm's width sort of stuff at least. You have a proper footwear for the floor that you have. If you've got slippery hardwoods, make sure that you're wearing good shoes that aren't going to slip and slide. If you've got thick carpet, making sure that your feet aren't going to get, isn't going to get caught on the carpet or something and trip you up. So just being careful. All right, let's begin. All right, here we go. Let's get moving. Going for a warm up here. A little bit of side to side. A little bit of grabbing with the arms. Nice and gentle, nice and easy. Remember, warm up, we're just looking to increase blood flow, get the body warmed up, warm up the muscles, grease the joints up, bring nutrients and oxygen to the muscles and joints we're going to be using, stretch the lungs out. Just kind of mimic some of the movements that we'll be doing throughout our cardiovascular exercises or strength training. Again, just kind of wake them up. We do this for about 2 minutes. We got a minute 20 left, and pretty gentle. We're not looking to elevate the heart rate like a cardiovascular workout. We're just trying to get the body moving a little bit. You might barely break a sweat, at the end of 2 minutes. And you can do what I'm doing or something else. Just a consistent motion to get the body going. There you go, looking good, nice and easy. I'm gonna move to a march here. Just marching up and down. If you want a little lower impact, keeping those toes on the ground and just marching with the heels. Or if impact is not an issue or problem with you, then just lifting those feet up. Got about 20 seconds. Let's go a nice wide march. And back and forth with the arms. Nice big clap. Squeeze those shoulder blades together at the back. And back to narrow march. All right, nice job. Okay, so sufficiently warmed up. If you need more of a warm up, of course, you can always just pause the video and warm up more. Okay, so first off, we have the squat with heel raises. If you want something to help with balance, grab a chair, use a windowsill, wall, whatever, something just to give you a hand if you need. What we're looking to do here is a squat. So feet about hip to shoulder width apart, toes are gonna flare out just slightly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sink my hips down, sticking my rear out. Head and chest are going to face forward. I'm going to go down as far as I feel comfortable and then up. And then what I'll do is I'll add a heel raise. So up on the toes and back down. And then down into my squat, up, heel raise. Okay. It's going to get a little balance component to it along with calves. Remember, head and chest faces forward. Rear sticks out. Okay, we don't want those knees going forward, especially forward past the toes. We want your hips going down and back. Low back is straight, hence the chest facing forward, head facing forward. If you want, you can use your arms to counterbalance yourself. And then how low you go is up to you. The lower you go, of course, the tougher it's going to get. Or if you're holding dumbbells or kettlebells, you can add weight to yourself. Got about 18 seconds. And again, trying to keep that balance and breathing the whole time, never holding your breath, always breathing. Got that sign for a reason there. Always a reminder. All right, nice job. Take a break. So we got about a 30-second break. Get some energy back into the muscles, catch your breath. Remember to keep water or something nearby to grab sips as you get thirsty. Here we're working the quadriceps and the thighs. We're getting gluteus muscles in the rear, and then the calf muscles, gastrocnemius with the straight knee. Abdominal muscles, spinal muscles, low back having to stabilize, along with some of the other leg muscles. All right, let's get in position again. Let's try it again. Face forward a little more. And here we go, down and up. Let's begin. Remember, how deep you go is up to you. You can also put the chair behind you. Have something just to catch you if you go down too low. Or, you can fully sit down and stand back up on the chair, or just barely touch the chair and come back up if you want that behind you as a spotter. Or having it in front's nice, because then it gives you something to hold on to if you need to for balance. I'm going a little more shallow on the squats. Got some knee issues going on still, so I'm going to baby this a little bit. You can go lower or more shallow, all up to you. We've got less than 10 seconds. All right, nice job there, well done. Okay, let's next one we have is the chest press with the seated lean back. So let's grab your chair again, and then your resistance tubing, with or without handles, but you're not going to need the handles most likely, kind of depending on how long your band is. So what we're going to do, around the back, just below the armpits, and then taking a seat back. Okay, going on the first half of the chair, that way you can lean back slightly to get the abdominals going. And then what we're going to do is start at the top of the ribs, armpits, and push out. All right, straighten those elbows fully all the way. Hands can come together at the front and then back in. And of course, depending on what kind of band or tubing you have, that will dictate how tough this is. You can also grab a little closer to your body to start. Make this band work a little bit harder. Nice firm grip, dry hands. Don't forget to breathe. Push all the way out and back in. Straighten those elbows fully and really stretch forward. And then if you need a break, you can sit upright, lean back. How far you lean back is up to you. Make sure that you're feeling nice and solid, keeping your feet on the ground. Breathing. We got less than 10 seconds. All right, nice job. Take a break there. So here we're working pectorals in the chest, that front deltoid in the shoulder, backs of the arm, those triceps. We're getting rectus abdominis, kind of the major abdominal muscle doing the work. A little bit of hip flexors in the front of the hips, of course. Hands and grip doing something. So nice and easy. Let's get back in position. We had about 10 more seconds of break. So nice and high, just below the armpits. And then where you grab that tubing is all up to you, depending on the kind of resistance you want. And then pushing out. Get a nice firm grip, whatever feels comfortable on your hands. And again, tubing or, a pre-packaged tubing will probably be too long to use the handles with. But if you can take the handles off, or if you've got some TheraBand or something that can be cut to length, that sort of stuff is a lot easier to work with than having to have handles dangle around. And then of course, remember, take that break if you need to. Sit upright, reset. We got about 15 seconds. Keep pushing, keep breathing. Almost there. All right, nice job there. Okay, so next up we've got the bent over row. So clearing out your space a little bit, getting rid of the rubber bands and grabbing a couple dumbbells or kettlebells, whatever you have, whatever's most comfortable. So a nice firm grip, dry hands. What we're looking for is about hip to shoulder width apart with the feet. And you're going to sink down a little bit, just kind of a small squat, and then you're going to hinge forward from the hips. Okay, hinge forward. Hands can be facing you or facing each other, and then we're going to roll this way here. Okay, and let's begin. Elbows go back, hands come to the tops of the ribs, and then squeezing those shoulder blades together towards your spine at the, when the elbows are at their peak. And then whatever feels comfortable, keeping those elbows a little closer in with hands facing each other, or you can flare those elbows out with the palms facing towards you a little bit more. It's all up to you, what feels comfortable. And then of course, the more you hinge, the more in line with gravity you're going to be. That's going to be tougher. About 15 seconds. Keep those knees soft. Don't hold your breath, remember, keep breathing. And then you're just hinging from the waist. That low back should be straight. Your whole back should be straight. All right. And then getting rid of those dumbbells, giving your grip a break. Here we're working the upper back muscles between the shoulder blades. We're getting the back part of the deltoid in the shoulder, and then biceps in the upper arm. So basically just the opposite muscles we did with the chest press we just did. So catch your breath. Low back, of course, doing some work, having to hold you steady. We're getting that upper back between the shoulder blades, with those shoulder blades squeezing against the, towards the spine. All right, so in position again. Remember to hinge forward, keeping that low back straight, and then hold that position. Once you've got that position, it's all about the shoulders and elbows and upper back moving. Squeeze the cheeks on your rump. Keep the abdominals tight and braced, but keep breathing. And then again, change, which way those hands are facing, and where the angle of the elbow is, either flaring out more or keeping them close to the body. It's all up to you. Working the same muscles, just a little bit of different fibers. Kind of depends on what's comfortable for your shoulders also. Keeping those palms facing each other and elbows in, usually a little easier, more comfortable on the shoulders. One more here. All right, nice job there. Okay, next up we've got our cardio. So make sure to clear out your space here. So grabbing a sip of water. We've got about a 35-second transition. Otherwise, you can get going right away on cardio if you want. I'll grab a quick sip. Let's start off with a little bit of a knee curl. And we'll do an arm curl singles here. Again, you can do what I'm doing or something else. If you've got a, stationary bicycle or elliptical machine or rowing machine, treadmill, any of that sort of stuff can be used. Aerobic step or stairs. If you've got a jump rope, again, dance moves, whatever you want, whatever you can do that's consistent, that's going to get your heart rate elevated, your breathing elevated. We go for about 2 minutes in, 25 seconds on average for cardio. We got 1 minute and 45 left here. All right, a little bit of side steps, get some low points. Just consistent motion. Think of the talk test. I'm talking to you out loud. That means my heart rate probably around the 70% of my maximum range, which is good. Good control, burning some good fat. Easily able to sustain that for the whole class. Now, if I can't talk because I'm too out of breath, heart rate's probably getting a little high and probably higher than I want for this class. Especially for me because I have to talk and be understood. If you want more cardio, then, by all means, get going a little faster. You don't have to talk. And that'll get your heart rate up higher, which will work cardiovascular system a little more. Heart, lungs, and circulatory system. About 40 seconds. All right. Big clap here. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. All right. Let's go forward and back. A little reverse toe tap here. Elbows are straight. And I'm just kind of hinging forward slightly. So we're getting a little bit of endurance on the muscles, and then heart and lungs are working. Less than 10 seconds. Keep strong. Remember, good posture and breathing. Excellent. All right. Okay. Next we have up the side raise and front raise. Couple shoulder exercises. So grab some smaller dumbbells for this one. We'll start with the side raises first. First thing we're going to do, hold a nice grip, firm grip, dry hands. Give whatever stance you feel is comfortable for your body. Brace the abdominals, and then we're going to go out to the sides. Think about like a bird flapping their wings. And really just about parallel to the floor. Hands will be, maybe just a bit higher than the shoulders. This sort of motion here, okay? Now, depending on how your shoulders feel, you can rotate your arms so that your thumb is in the up position, or you can keep it so that your palms are facing down the whole time. Up to you. When we rotate, externally rotate the arm a little bit and the shoulder, we get a little bit more room in the shoulder girdle. Not as much pinching going on the soft material in there. So I tend to always just rotate a little bit. Enables you to go, a little bit higher also without things pinching. So elbows are fairly straight the whole time. Slow and controlled, no momentum. Breathe. Abdominals are braced. Nothing moving but your elbows. I'm sorry, but your shoulders. Shoulders only. About 6 seconds. Think good posture. Relaxing those shoulders, looking forward. All right, nice job. So take a little break here. Second set, we're going to do a front raise. So instead of to the side, we're going to go forward. Okay, so elbows are still straight, abdominals braced, hips braced, everything's the same, except now we're going forward instead of out. And again, you can do this, palm down, or if you want a little bit more room, externally rotate, so now your palms will face each other. And again, you'll get a little bit more room in that shoulder before things start to pinch. So elbows are straight, and again, controlled, nice and slow, working against gravity, no momentum. Abdominals are tight. Your head's just looking forward, the same place your chest is looking. And hands are really about shoulder width apart or a little wider when you come up. If you get tired, you can always do singles. Same thing with that side raise. You know, if you tire out before the minute finishes, you can always switch to doing one at a time. We got about 10 more seconds here. Here we're working that front deltoid in the front of the shoulder. The side raise, we are getting the middle deltoid on the outside part of the shoulder. All right, well done there. Let's get rid of the dumbbells. So next up, we've got seated Russian twist. So grabbing your chair again and your resistance tubing. With or without handles, again, it doesn't matter on this. So what we're doing on this, we're going to do one side at a time. And show you a little better view here. I'm going to step on this, okay, kind of on the arch part. I want this to go outside, to the outside. It's going to go up and wrap around the outside of my thigh, okay? And then I'm going to anchor and hold right, you know, at my navel. And then what I'll do is I'll rotate the opposite direction. I'm going to rotate the opposite direction. I want enough weight on that foot, of course, that you know, this band or tubing isn't going to pop out. If you feel like this is kind of, you know, digging into your leg, you can always roll up a towel or a washcloth or something in between the band or tubing and your leg so that it doesn't cut into you. And then rotate as far as you can, a little bit back the other direction, and then as far as you can the opposite direction. We got about 20 seconds. Sitting up nice and tall, low back is straight, no slouching or hunching. This is pure rotation. Head is just going to follow what the chest does. About 5 seconds. If you want, maybe every couple, add a neck turn in. All right, take a break there. Okay. Think about, you know, when you're driving and you're checking your blind spot and looking over your shoulder. Same sort of thing. You know, maybe every 3 or 4 of the rotations, add that head turn in there too, just to get some range of motion on the neck and some work on that. I wouldn't do it every time though. You know, you may tend to get slightly dizzy or something if you're turning your head that often. All right, so again, outside of the leg, outside of the foot, and come and wrap around the outside of the leg, nice and wide with the feet, good wide stance, setting up tall, and then rotate. I'm going to rotate back towards the anchor, and then rotate away from it as far as I can. And then again, every once in a while, do that head turn. Again, good posture, relax in the shoulders. This is purely rotation of the torso. We're anchoring that band on the outside of your leg. Breathe. Remember not to hold your breath. 10 seconds. Keep going. And then how tight you hold on to this is up to you. If I want more resistance, I'll grab more band in my hand and make it tighten up harder. All right, nice job there. Well done. Okay, so next we have shrugs with the resistance tubing. So this guy, we're just going to step on it with either 1 foot or 2 feet. Kind of depends on how tall you are, you know, how long your arms are, how long your band is, and the thickness. But you may need to stand with 1 foot or 2 feet. Maybe your feet are together or apart, depending on how much resistance you need or want. If you've got handles on your band, you probably don't have to step on the band, you know, as much. But really, you want your hands at your sides. You want your arms just dangling down. And then what you'll do is you're just going to shrug up, hunching up. Okay. So as high as you can, bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Remember, good posture. Standing up nice and tall. brace in the core, breathing. Your hands are just anchoring the band along with your weight. There you go, as high as you can. Halfway there. So we're getting upper trapezius muscle between your neck and shoulder. You know, anytime you're carrying something heavy, that muscle is going to do a lot of work and you know, supporting the shoulder and allowing you to, you know, to carry and hold something. You know, heavy toolbox or lunchbox, bag of groceries, bucket of paint, you know, any of that sort of stuff. A couple more seconds, keep going. All right, well done there. So again, depending on, you know, how tall the, you know, how long the band is, if you have handles or not, what you could do is you could just step with, you know, with just one foot, you know, that sort of stuff too. Okay, so if you know, if the band is too tight when you're standing on it with 2 feet, even if they're together, maybe just switch into 1 foot and kind of tandem foot a little bit more in front, keeping your balance and coordination. I'll do that right now. I'll demonstrate here. So more on your arch and heel area, and I'm just kind of standing a little more tandem so that front foot is more in the middle of my body as opposed to hip width. As long as you can keep your balance. But this makes it a little easier. I don't have as much pull on the band as I did when I had 2 feet standing apart. You could do this singles also. If you want to, you know, stand on one part of the band and then just grab on the same leg or you know, same hand. Less than 10 seconds. Keep going. High as you can. Nice firm grip. Dry hands. All right. Excellent. Well done. Okay. Let's see. Looks like we've got a cardio next, so get rid of your band and clear your space out. Getting ready for the cardio. Grabbing a drink if you need to. We still got another 14 seconds of transition here. Tough looking into the lights sometimes. Hard to see now. Let's get moving. And off we go. About 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Alright, so I'm going to do a little tap here. Reverse tap. A little bit of a rotation on the torso and the hips as I do this. Reaching my arms the opposite direction. Bent forward, hinged forward a little bit from the hips. Alright, keep breathing. Give yourself enough room, a good, you know, arms width all around you at least. Know what your you know, what your room is, how your shoes are working on the carpet or the floors. All right, back to a regular march here. Nice and easy narrow march. Let's go wide. And back to narrow and wide. Looking good there. And narrow. Nice quick march. Keep those arms pumping. And wide. And narrow. Excellent. All right. Front toe tap with a little point. And again, you can do what I'm doing or something else as long as you're moving consistent and trying to get your heart rate and your breathing elevated for this, you know, 2 minute and 10 second period of time. That's all we're looking for. But remember good posture. Remember breathing. Keep aware of your surroundings. All right, I'm going to move to an uppercut with a side step here. We got about 12 seconds. Let's keep this one up for till the end here. Looking looking good. All right, excellent. Okay, we've got the wide stance bicep curls. So grab a couple dumbbells again. So we're going to start in a wide stance. Okay, just a slight small squat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bicep curl across the body and then turn and punch. And then reverse that, reverse the bicep curl across the body, rotate and punch. Nice and slow and controlled, okay? So curl towards the opposite chest and then rotate and punch. Now when I rotate, hips are going to rotate also. Keeping that low back straight. Again, slow and controlled. This isn't cardio or anything, so we're not going fast. The heavier the weight, of course, the tougher it's going to be. But two separate motions. You've got the bicep curl and the rotate and punch and back, and then finish that bicep curl. Ten seconds. All right, nice job. Take a break there. So here we're getting some bicep muscle in the arms. We're getting a little bit of chest and deltoids in the shoulder with that punch. A little bit of obliques and abdominals, hips as we rotate. Working the hips and thighs, a little bit having to, the knees and bones and everything having to rotate as we move. All right, let's get in position again. So grabbing those dumbbells, and it doesn't matter which side you start with. And let's begin. So across, bicep curl across, rotate and punch. And you'll notice as I rotate, my heel will come off and I'll pivot. Bicep curl across, rotate and punch. Slow and controlled, of course. We're not punching fast or anything. Remember your breathing. We got about 23 seconds. Palm is going to face you pretty much the whole time, at least during your curl and your punch. All right, nice job there. Okay, so we've got the seated lean backs with the march. So grab your chair again. You can get rid of your dumbbells. All right, so here we're going to work a little bit of the abdominals, hip flexors, outside of the hips. Again, sitting on that first half of the chair so that you have room to lean back and the back of the chair is not impeding you. Again, when you're not lifting your feet off the ground, make sure that they're on the ground and nice and solid. Your chair is not going to move around. So back, working the abdominal muscles. You can get a little bit of marches in for the hip flexors, and then we'll do a little bit of toe taps. Okay. And at your own pace, lean back as far as you like. We've got some marches, however many of those you want to get going in. And then same with those heel taps, just bringing that leg out to the side, outside of the hip and thigh, doing that work. However many of those you want to do. And you can mix it up too. Just play around, see what gets you working. We got about 10 seconds. All right, take a break there. So here, again, we're getting abdominal muscles, especially that rectus abdominis. We're getting the outside of the hips and thighs, the glute medius and minimus. We're getting hip flexors in the front of the hip doing some work. A little bit of thigh work, of course, having to extend that knee and thigh. And then out to the side as you do that. Just tapping that heel, keeping the toes up in the air. All right, so back in position again. Make sure to breathe, don't hold your breath at all. And let's begin. So lean back as far as you feel comfortable, and then just playing around. If you want to add a little bit of a march from this, you can outside of the leg to a march. And then switch. A little bit of a march. Again, kind of play around. As long as you're leaning back and breathing, and you feel like the outside of the thighs and the front of the hips, outside of the hip, you may feel it a little bit on the inside of the thigh also. About 15 seconds. So again, getting that out, march to the out to the side. All right, nice job there, well done. Okay, so last one we have, standing TKE. So terminal knee extension. What we're working here is the quadriceps and the thigh, especially the very front part of the thigh here on the inside, the see vastus medialis. So a couple different ways we can do this is you can bring that leg forward, wrap your tubing or your band around your leg, and then you're the anchor holding that, okay? So I'm going to pull, and what I'll do is pull back, okay? I can show you from this direction. So start here up on your toe, and then pull back and straighten that knee. Straighten that knee, okay? Now, if you need to put a little bit of padding behind your thigh, maybe a rolled up towel or something, so that the band's not cutting into you, you can do that also. All right. Now, what you can also do is use your chair. So, depending on, like mine, for example, I've got carabiners so that it connects real easy. So what I could do is use that chair, and then I anchor the chair and straighten my leg. All right, so if you can tie your band, or there's carabiners, but basically we're just looking to straighten that knee. Flex the thigh muscle, straighten your knee, put that heel to the ground and straighten that knee. Okay, all right, take a break there. I'll go back to the way of anchoring yourself here. It's a little easier to do and quicker to do if you do it that way. But again, if you have a way to, maybe there's a knot in your band and you can attach it to the door so that you can do that sort of stuff. There's ways that you can do that with the bands. Otherwise, it's just you anchoring yourself here. All right, let's try it again. So what I'll do is I'll start with that knee bent. Start with the knee bent, and then I'm going to pull and straighten. I just have this right behind the knee, or just above. You don't want it below the knee joint. You want it above the knee joint. And really straighten that knee. When that knee straightens and that heel gets on the ground, really flex your thigh muscle. And just try to hold and anchor that. We got about 20 seconds. So terminal knee extension. We're just looking at that last, 15 degrees of knee extension, knee straightening. That's what gets the quadriceps firing, especially that vastus medialis, the inside kind of teardrop on the front inside part of the knee. All right, nice job there. Well done. All right, so getting rid of your band there. Looks like, so we've got one more cardiovascular, and then we'll finish off with some cool down and balance and stretching. Again, maybe grab a sip of water here. Triceps are nice and tight from that one. We'll have to do a little bit of stretching on that. So you can get going right away on the cardio, or we got about 12 seconds of transition here. So I'm going to do a little dynamic stretch, getting a little bit of momentum, bending that elbow really good, and it's going to get just a little bit of a pull on those triceps as I do this, as if I'm combing the side of my hair. Pretty quickly, getting again some momentum using the weight of my arms to bend that elbow, give a little pull on those triceps. Keep it comfortable, just a little bit of a stretch here. Nothing painful, nothing of discomfort, of course. All right, I'm going to switch and go a little faster with some cross-body bicep curls. A little side-to-side kick here. I'm going to slow things down. I feel my knee doing some clicking here, so I'm going to back off just a little bit. You go whatever speed works for you, however fast or slow you need to go, not only to appease any aches and pains, but also depending on the kind of workout you want to get with your heart and lungs and circulatory system. Nice and easy. All right, I'm going to move to a march here. Actually, more of a, let's get back to another hamstring curl. So we just did some of these on that exercise. We're going to do a little faster. Really tire those hamstrings out. And some more bicep curl here. Not crossbody though. There you go. Again, just continuous motion. How high you get that heart rate up really is determined by how fast you go and how how many muscles you use at the same time. All right, so a little ladder climb here. We got about 24 seconds. Marching with a shoulder press. Think about climbing a ladder, reaching up towards the next rung, stepping up towards the next rung. And you can do same side or opposites, whatever works for you. Looking great there. All right, step forward and back. Oh, and that's all we got, okay. So we're going to work on a little bit of cool down. So remember, cool down is just your opposite of warm up. We are actively trying to let your heart rate get back down to a good beats per minute, usually around 100 beats per minute or lower. So same sort of movements as our cardio and our warm up, but just slower. So if you're doing something fast, dance moves or whatever, now we're just going to slow things up for a minute or so, moving nice and easy. Great time to grab some water and just kind of walk around while you're drinking it. We don't want to stop moving at all during a cool down. We just want to move a little bit to keep that heart pumping the blood around, but not getting that heart rate up higher. So just letting it go down. So what we'll do is we're going to add a little bit of balancing exercises to our cool down. So let's start with a little bit of heel walk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk on my heels, keep my toes up in the air. Okay. So a little bit of balance here, forward, backwards, or turning around. You can go side to side, or if depending on how much room you have, maybe just tick-tocking side to side. Okay. All up to you. Keep in mind how big your space is and what's around you. Right. So I'm working a little bit of balance. I'm cooling down. And I'm getting some work on my shin muscles, the fronts of my lower leg. Excellent, looking good there. Keeping your balance. Now we're going to switch this up to some toe walking. So now I'm working the calf muscles. A little bit of balance work, of course. Still cooling down, still breathing. And I can go side to side or tick-tock back and forth. Close one eye, close both eyes. Just kind of play around with your balance. Excellent, okay. All right, keep moving. So let's do a little bit of, think about, if you were wearing clown shoes or scuba diving flippers on your feet, how if they're long, you're having to really accentuate lifting your legs up, pumping your ankles to move those shoes out of the way so that you don't catch the toes on the flippers or the clown shoes. All right, so just moving around, walking around. We're working the hip flexors, some balance, slow and controlled movements. We're getting some range of motion on those ankles. And, think about the longer those clown shoes or flippers are, the bigger motion you have to do. If you want it to be smaller, something easier, just pretend those clown shoes are, maybe they're 3 or 4 inches bigger than your own shoes. So just kind of think about that and see what works for you. Okay, a little bit of tightrope walk here. Last part of our balance and cool down. So tightrope can be as wide as your hips, pretty easy, or maybe it's as wide as your feet together, or maybe it's as wide as 1 foot. Okay, so play around with how wide that tightrope is. Trying not to look at your feet. Forwards and backwards. Again, being aware of your surroundings, especially if you're going backwards. Knowing where you are in your room. And then how close your feet are together is up to you too. If I do a full, heel to toe, narrow tightrope, this is going to be the hardest. Especially if I'm going backwards. If I close an eye or close both eyes, makes it even harder, of course. So nice and controlled. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Remember, safety first. Even, doing this next to a wall so that you have your hands or fingers next to a wall, like in a hallway, where you have a nice bit of room to walk. You can also just, back and forth, forward and backwards, just kind of a tandem stance if you don't have a lot of room here. Okay. Nice and easy, catching that balance, being ready to catch yourself if you lose your balance, right? That's a big part of injury prevention. Not only having great balance, but catching yourself. If you lose your balance or you step off a curb wrong and you know that you've just stepped off a curb wrong, being able to adjust your foot in space and stuff so that you land properly or so that you catch yourself from falling. Balance, coordination, all that stuff mixes together. All right, let's finish up with some stretches here. So first one we're going to do, we're going to stretch out the back of the hamstring. So toes and legs in front of me. I'm going to squat down and lean forward. I got my weight on my back leg. I'm digging in the heel on my front leg. And just leaning forward. I can even reach towards my knee or my toe. Get a good stretch in the back of my thigh or behind my knee. You may feel it on the calf or the rump or the low back. Real gentle. A good 15 to 30 second hold. Not jerking or bouncing. Nice static hold. Let's switch legs. And keep breathing, of course. Don't hold your breath. And just try to relax that leg. I'm going to relax that front leg that I'm trying to stretch. There we go, looking good there. Low back is straight. I'm hinging forward. I'm not just bending my back. All right, let's try another stretch. So pelvic tilt like we did laying on our back. So bring those hips forward. I'm going to straighten out that low back. I'm going to squeeze the cheeks together on my rump. Reach out in front of me, palms facing me, fingers interlocked. And I'm just going to press away, press my hands away from my body, straightening those elbows. My upper and middle back are going to round out. Head just stays neutral. I'm breathing. I get a little bit of a stretch in my forearms, my upper back, middle back, low back is straight. All right, nice job here. Last stretch, arms up. So in the 90-90 position, And now I'm going to bring those elbows backwards, squeezing my shoulder blades together. We've done a lot of this today, but now we're doing it to stretch the chest and the fronts of the shoulders. So we're holding this position, really pushing the chest out. You can also bring those hands together or behind the ears of the head. Again, keeping those elbows backwards, squeezing the shoulder blades together, stretching out the chest. Nice deep breathing. Let's straighten those elbows. Palms are up, thumbs are back. Again, bringing those hands and arms backwards. And now I'm going to dip the fingers down. So I'm going to get a good stretch on my forearms and wrists. My palms feel it a little bit. All right. Give everything a little shake out there. All right, nice job today. Well done. Thanks for being here.